Hello there, this is Carrie Rhodes here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and another card making video. Today I am featuring this adorable gnome stamp set from the Sending Smooches release at Trinity Stamps. This adorable gnome falling into a pile of leaves also comes with 3 heart images and a sentiment. And of course there is a coordinating die set that die cuts out all 5 of the images in this set. So when I set to stamping out all these images, I decided that it would make a really good 1-layer card. So that's exactly what I'm going to do for card number 1. Once I have those in place and picked up on the door of my Misty, I'm going to go ahead and ink it up with some Copic friendly black ink onto this white cardstock. I love coloring with my Copics, and I just got a bunch of new ones, so I really wanted to color this time. So here he is all stamped out. So cute. So now I'm going to color in the background of this pile of hearts, and right there I just accidentally colored in one of the hearts. So I'm going to color the hearts a darker color so I can cover that up, and I will add some shadowing in and around those hearts with R43, and then I will go ahead and blend out that harsh line with my mid-tone marker, which is RV21, and that will finish up that pile of hearts. Now, this marker that I brought in to color the hearts was a lot more vibrant than I expected. I haven't used this color very much, but I really wanted to play with different pinks in today's video. So I decided to just go with it, and in the end, with the shadow that I added, I feel like it really has almost a neon look. So I brought in my R46 for that shadow, and it's pretty dark, but it really helps that pink pop. So I'll bring back in my RV06 and blend that out, and you can see what I mean, just almost neon. And that will finish out the pile of hearts, and we'll move on to coloring out this little gnome's beard. So I did first go around the beard with my C0 marker, just saturating that area, and that makes it easier for these colors to blend out. So my darkest color is C4, and then I brought in C2 to continue to blend out that dark line, and then I'll blend it out one more time with that C0, giving this white beard a nice dark shadow. And for his skin, I'm starting with E31 and blending in some darker color with E34, and I just go back and forth between the two colors till I get the blend I want, and I feel like I needed just one more color, so I actually brought in E53 to finish him off. Now let's color his super cute hat. I don't know why gnome hats are just so adorable to me, but I love them. I'm using the same 3 pink markers that I use for the background of the hearts and blending those out. Actually, I think I only used 2 colors, the RV43 and the R21 for the hat. On this particular card, I left the highlight for the hat in the center, and just going back and forth between those 2 markers until I have the blend that I want and the highlight that I want. His shoes are brown, so E25 is my lightest, E59 is my darkest, and E27 for my mid-tone. And again, just going back and forth between those 3 markers to blend them out how I want. I colored in those 3 little hearts to finish off the scene, and then am adding in some white highlights with a gel pen. Actually, I guess I'm not done with the scene because I do color in the background since this is a 1-layer card. Got to do that. I don't do many 1-layer cards. I guess coloring like this, a background, is a little intimidating to me, so I just kept it really simple. I kind of drew in some cloud-like shapes, and then I just did some wispy lines in and around that, and I am using BG10 for that, only 1 color. I did come in and kind of soften out the lines a little bit with my colorless blender, which I don't think I actually showed in the video, but that was it for this background. Just really easy, and I picked a light color so I didn't have to worry about it looking right or it looking weird. And there we go. I did also trace around my images to make it easier to add those flick lines. Then for the ground, because I didn't want him to feel like he was floating in the sky, I used the same C markers as I used on his beard to give a shadow and a little bit of grounding to that image. And there it is, all finished. And now I'm adding a scalloped border to the bottom, even though this is a 1-layer card, because I originally was going to die cut these images out and realized when I went to put it on my card that this scrap piece of paper was a little short for an A2 size card. So I just added a border there, and that Slimline die set is from the Slimline series. It's called Scenic Borders, and it has a stitched line on the other side, so you can use both pieces when you die cut with that die. Love that. All right, let's move on to card number 2. I'm taking the new circle dies from Trinity Stamps. They have an etched line around the outside edge, so it's going to leave an etched line on the paper you cut the circle from and also from the circle. I used 2 of them to create this ring, and I'm gluing that ring to a die cut circle. I am making a shaker card that is a window through to the inside of my card. So I also need a window shade on the back of the circle I die cut from this 5x5 card. Just like that. Glue that into place, and next I need some foam strips around the edge of my ring here. So I'm just going to really carefully place those on and curve it as I stick it down. I'm going to continue that until the foam strips meet end to end, because I don't want any of the shaker elements to escape from there. So I will need to cut a little piece to finish off that edge. I always cut it a little bigger than I need so I can cut it to fit really snugly in there. Now some anti-static powder on both of the window sheets to reduce the static for the little clouds that I'm using. These are cloud confetti pieces that are iridescent. These are from the Trinity Stamps shop, and they recently redid the vendor they use, so they have been out of embellishments for a little while, but they are stocking up again. So make sure you click over and check out the embellishments at Trinity. I'll have a link for you below. Now I have a pink circle that I had already die cut, and I decided to use that for the inside of my card. So I lined it up with that opening, put glue on it, closed my card to pick it up, and then I have a circle in the opening of my window. We'll come back to that circle window on my card in a minute. I need to add some things, but for now I'm going to color out the hearts on this second image. I am coloring 3 different shades of pink for this, and then I thought I would show you also his hat. And this is the BG10 I'm using. I also used BG10 for the background of the hearts because I wanted it to feel like it was a cloud. So the background of the hearts is a cloud, and all the hearts are falling down with him. So there you go. And I wanted you to see his hat in these different colors. My darkest marker there, I don't remember the number. I'll put it up on the screen for you because I obviously didn't put the cap out. There the images are already die cut out, and I did add some more highlights. Now you'll see me here attaching this gnome to another die cut gnome because there's a window in this card. I didn't want you to see the coloring behind on the back side of the gnome when you open the card. So, and that made it a little bit sturdier because actually this gnome is only going to rest on that ring because it's popped up with some foam tape. So it made it sturdier too, which was a bonus. I have die cut a second ring. I'm adding it to the back side of the window so that it covers up my foam tape, and it will just finish that edge right off. But I love how you can see the clouds on the inside of this card as well as the outside. I'm going to add these 3 little hearts to the corner of the card, and I loved the look of it so much I decided to stamp more of them and add them to each corner. Now I am taking this bow builder die set and die cutting out that bow that's like the frame of a bow, the outline of a bow. I colored my BG10 marker on a scrap piece of cardstock, and now I'm going to glue that down. And you saw me tap it off on a piece of scratch. If you have a super skinny die cut like this and you feel like you just have a little too much glue on there and it's going to seep out, you can just tap it down to whatever's on your desk, a scrap, a paper towel, and remove just a tiny bit of that glue. It works like a charm, and then you don't have all that glue seep out. So I cut that out and then mounted it to the card front with a foam square. Next, I'm going to add some hearts to the inside, and you can see I already added that sentiment, and the gnome is going to cover that up so you won't see the sentiment when the card is closed. So there I just relined up my stamp and stamped it over the top because I didn't quite get it stamped right, and it was a miracle that it actually lined up. So yay, that's a win. That finishes up card number 2. I love a shaker. I love a shaker window, and this gnome is so adorable, especially with the freckles on his cheek. All right, here is the image all colored out for card number 3. You can see all the markers I used on that one. Some pinks that are more coral for this card. Next, I'm bringing in all the hearts. This is a new Slimline pack of paper from Trinity Stamps. It has 2 different heart patterns, one on the front and one on the back. So it's really cool pack of paper. I love it. I'm going to use this teal color right here and the smaller hearts on the back side. I'm going to die cut this scalloped frame from the mini Slimline envelope and card die set because it is so cute. It's such a cute die. Next, I'm going to use that same die to die cut a white strip. You can see I'm only die cutting half of it because once that's die cut, I'll bring in this cloud border die from the Great Outdoors. No, this is from that same die set, actually, that Scenic Borders die set. Sorry about that. And I'll glue that down once it's die cut so that the scallops across the bottom line up. And then I'll have my little gnome sitting on the clouds. Now, I'm sure that you're noticing my gnome is much larger than my mini Slimline panel. I'll show you how I'm going to fix that at the very end of this video coming up in just a minute. I'm going to heat emboss my sentiment, so I stamped it with clear pigment ink, and then I can pour on my white powder and it will stick to that ink. Then you just heat emboss it to melt the powder, and I'm going to die cut it with this banner die that is also from that mini Slimline die set that I used the scallop board or panel from. And next I'm going to trim off one end of that so I can tuck this banner behind his hand. Just like that. Next, I'm bringing in my new favorite alphabet die, the graham cracker alphabet. You can see these letters are small, but it's the perfect size for building a sentiment on your card front. I love it. It is so adorable. And if you have a precision glue tip, it's not hard to glue them down at all. Again, you can tap off any excess glue that maybe was too much on, like the paper towel I have there on the side. Works really well for that. So there is my sentiment all finished. I'm going to go ahead and mount this onto a 3x6 card. So it started out as a 6x6 piece of paper folded in half at 3 inches. So you can see there I did add some hearts to the right hand side to finish that out. And then here's my card base. Now here's a slimline envelope or a business size envelope. I cut down at 6.5 inches. I die cut that rounded piece from the excess that I die cut off and attached it to this shorter envelope using this piece from the envelope builder. This is the Slimline envelope builder die set. So Trinity has 2 Slimline envelope builders, a full size and a mini. Love it. But you can see there that now my mini Slimline fits in this envelope even though it hangs off and it makes it wider than a typical mini Slimline. So problem solved. There are all 3 cards that I made using this Falling For You gnome stamp set. It's adorable and I love it. So that is all for me today. If you like this video, I made another video using a different gnome stamp set just the other day. So I'll make sure and link that here so you can check that out if you missed it, as well as some other Trinity Stamps videos. I will see you very soon in the next video, and happy stamping. Bye.